Ciao, what's up everybody? Alright, so we're on good old Wind Way. We're going to do a news update and this is a tourist update. People seem to enjoy those. People keep asking me about long-term visas, so we're going to address it again. I had tried to shoot a video on the motorbikes today, but I got ran out of my own parking at Golden River, filming my own bike. It's whatever. Maybe I'll put it on Patreon. It's pretty funny. Okay. So yeah, if you're not part of the Patreon, there's early access content on there, bloopers, deleted scenes, content I don't put on YouTube. There's lots of incentive for joining Patreon. There is no tier program. You can join for however much you want. All right, let's get into the video. First things first, let's talk about visas, because that's what everybody keeps asking me about. Now, the news, all of the news organizations have been aggressively writing articles, sometimes 2 articles a day, saying that all the visas need to come back pre-COVID, like the government said they would do. I don't know why they're still dragging on it. I don't know how the long visas will look once they do come out. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Are they going to make you go to immigration every month like they had proposed before COVID? We don't know that information yet, but it seems to me that they don't want people living here for years on a 1-year tourist visa and just extending it 3 months, every 3 months after that. And hopefully that system doesn't come back, because all that did was put money in the pockets of visa agents, corrupt visa agents everywhere, charging like $400, $350 for 90 more days, because technically it wasn't allowed. You couldn't really extend a visa after a year. Like, technically, according to Vietnamese law, it wasn't possible. So that's why you always had to go through an agent that would then go and bribe someone at the immigration department. So I heard. That's not confirmed information. These are just things in the ether webs. So I don't think that they're going to bring back that style system again. I think they're going to come out with some kind of new visa system. There's also been heavy talk from like the tourism board that they would like to see visa-free travel for 60 to 90 days for a lot of countries. We're talking like 50 plus countries, I think. I know at least 15, like America, Australia. They're trying to propose a completely visa-free entry to the government, and they're aggressively trying to get that done right now. The best thing Vietnam can do, if I was Vietnam, I would do that. I would do a 90-day visa-free travel for all the countries that are going to come here and spend money. And I know a lot of people like cry on VN Express and these other news places in the comments. You have to understand that a major amount of money for tourism, international tourism in Vietnam, has always come from China for the past 10 years. And now that China, I don't know if you know what's going on over there in China, it's pretty much locked down. They're going through a COVID wave, and they have a zero COVID strategy still, which will never work. So they're going to be in endless countdowns or lockdowns for who knows how long. Yeah, there's a good percentage of money that comes from Japan and Korea, but the majority of it, it's like 82% of big dollars spent are from 2-week vacation from Chinese tourists. So I don't think that Vietnam's like really heavily focused on long-term stayers right now. It seems that they're more focused on you coming here for 30 days and having fun. And as I've talked about 1 billion times, you're not locked in the 30 days. Everybody complains about that too. It doesn't take but a half a day to go to Cambodia, get a new e-visa, and come back. You don't even have to stay the night anymore. You can literally get your next e-visa while you're still here and book it for the day your other one expires and come back that same day. You can even hire a service that'll take you in a limo for $30. I've talked about this so much, but the question still comes up so frequently. So I have to address it, because like I get emails, DMs, questions on videos. What about long-term visa? What about long-term visa? In live streams, long-term visa, long-term visa. So I think we're going to see something come soon within the next month. I think within the next week, by the way, that the newspapers are writing insanely aggressive about it, and they are trashing Vietnam essentially, like in a lot of this stuff. Let's see. I'm checking the news. Nothing. So there's nothing really new. Everything still in the news is really talking about the glorious win over Thailand. That's still pretty much dominating the news, and like other stuff that you guys don't really care about. But I mean, if you want to get here and you want to stay here, just do the Vietnam-Cambodia border run. You know, if you've got some money, just go to Thailand for a few days every month and then come back on a new e-visa. It's not a problem. You can get it done. We are on Win Way, as you can see. So this next part of the segment of the video is, where are the tourists? Well, not too many are still in Saigon. I see more and more frequently now backpackers walking around. I see people from Thailand. They've got like the Thailand pants on, the Thailand shirt. So it seems like people are going to Thailand first, or have been in Thailand, and then they're coming over to Vietnam now. Now, when I was in Hanoi, it was much different. There was tourists everywhere. Hanoi is completely dominated with tourists. It seems a lot of them are heading to Hoi An, Hanoi, and Da Nang first. So, as I said, we've been doing a live stream to raise some funds to go on a Da Nang trip. So, once we do reach the goal for the Da Nang trip, we'll go out to Da Nang for a few days, film it and see what's going on. We'll get over to Hoi An since Hoi An's right there. Maybe I can meet that cool guy, Mr. X. But yeah, we'll go out there. We'll film some stuff there, see how that looks. I guess a lot of people are going to Hoi An too, even though there's not much to do there past like a day or two. Hoi An isn't very large. It's not like crammed full of stuff to do. But there aren't too many tourists still. The only place where you can see a lot is on Boi Vang on a weekend. And I'm pretty much done with Boi Vang. My interest in going there is like zero now. It's just loud, makes for an obnoxious live stream mostly. Can't hear shit because they've turned the music up so loud now that it's literally almost impossible to even film a live stream there. I will go back there once every month or two on the rig we're on now, the 4K rig, and we'll take a look around and see, you know, is it more populated? I don't know why they're still not shutting down the street on the weekends. Maybe they are now. Like I said, my thing is not to hang out on Boi Vang anymore. I've done so much Boi Vang stuff, like, I'm pretty over it. And then just general, like, drinking and partying, like, we've come out of that part of my channel. We've evolved into other stuff. So, like, live streams are going to be more chill with just, like, me, Win, eating dinner, going to coffee, stuff like this. Pretty much getting away from day drinking and all that stuff altogether. It's not of a big interest to me. But I don't think that the 30-day e-visa is having really any kind of impact on tourism. Now that I think that they've dropped all the restrictions in the past few weeks, like all restrictions, you just need an e-visa now. I think in the next month, we're going to see a lot of people coming here. I mean, you have to understand, Vietnam has dropped all restrictions. They still say you need this $10,000 health thing, but it's all, no one checks. Occasionally, I've had 2 people out of 100 say, hey, we got checked. And they were coming from like weird places like New Zealand and stuff, and the airline checked. So no one in Vietnam's checking, just the airline. And I imagine you could just screenshot some bullshit and just say, this is my insurance, and that would probably work. But yeah, no one's actually been checked for any kind of insurance coming into the country. I know quite a few people that just came in, all they needed was their e-visa, and that's it. So I think we'll see a pretty heavy, strong return of tourism in the next 30 to 60 days. And you have to understand, like, the long-term visa is like, what, 1% of travelers? Maybe 2% of international tourism travelers? It's a very small segment, guys. Like, And it's kind of a shame VN Express lets all the haters just like blow away their comment section, but you know, it's their thing to do it. But as I said, VN Express has been really aggressively writing about bringing back the long-term visas. Like they're quoting the comments of like expats being like, I'm not coming until I got my long-term visa. And I think the days of living on a long-term visa here, tourist, is over, man. If they're smart, they'll introduce some kind of retirement visa for dudes over 55. They'll bring in some kind of elite visa like Thailand, but the one in Thailand is pretty much garbage because it's like, what, 20 grand? Who's gonna pay 20 grand? Again, that's another super small segment of people that are gonna be able to drop that much to stay at a country. They need to get a more realistic, like a digital nomad type thing. Like I think Portugal has one of those countries. One country has one that's really good. I forget, Peru maybe? But offer something like that costs like $2,000 for 2 years. I think $1,000 a year is pretty feasible, and people can afford that. And then let that person with that visa be able to open checking accounts here and all that stuff. Get a driver's license for as long as that visa holds. Again, I've never gotten pulled over because I drive very slow. I do not drive like a Vietnamese. I follow all the traffic laws, and I never speed. There's nowhere to speed. Like, you'd be insane to be like one of those guys that drives around all speedy in Saigon, because you got no time to react to anything if you're going 60, 70, 80 kilometers an hour on a road like this. Like, what if somebody just walks out in front of you? Or somebody's dog walks out in front of you? So that's the stuff you're dealing with on that type of thing. So for today's video, I think we covered what I wanted to cover. Those were the two topics: where the tourist and the visa situation, which still hasn't changed. Still just a 30-day e-visa. There is no visa on arrival. There is no other kind of visa. There is just a 30-day e-visa for tourism. All right, guys, stay frosty. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace out.